Awesome. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you visit ozellbrand.com, get you a pair. They are continuing to expand. And when you go to the store, ask for them blue Bruce Voice Roys that we like to call them. Those Royal Blues. What you got them joints on now, don't you?
Nope, not today.
Awesome. And ladies and gentlemen, let's get into the square circle as we discuss boxing. There's going to be a big boxing event November 16th, live from the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. Now, fans are finally going to get a chance to see Shakur Stevenson in the ring, but it won't be the big bout that we've been asking for, whether it be between Devin Haney or Frank Martin. Now, instead, the Reebok's newest athlete will be challenging Dominican boxer Edwin de los Santos for the vacant WBC lightweight title, with the goal of becoming a three-weight champion. Now, this comes after a number of failed attempts to find a challenger for Stevenson, including Haney and Frank Martin, who turned the fight down last minute after receiving the contract in September and decided it just was not up to par for him. Now, while Stevenson has spoken of the disappointment of the previous failed fights, he has spoken highly of the 23-year-old fighter de los Santos, even praising him for taking the bout. Now, the 16-1 de los Santos is on a 3-fight win streak himself since his lone loss to William Foster in 2002. Now, speaking of de los Santos, Shakur stated he's a good fighter and he's going to come to fight. I give him credit for actually taking this fight when so many other called fighters ran from it. I'm the biggest boogeyman in boxing, and on November 16th, the world will see why when I put on another great performance for the fans. Come out to T-Mobile Arena or tune in to ESPN and watch me become a 3-division world champion. Stevenson has become a star since winning those titles at 126 and 130. And after the announcement that Edwin would take the fight, he literally went to Instagram and posted, "Most duck fighter in the sport of boxing. Edwin, get ready. I'm tired of you saying my name." Now, Voice, Shakur is talking the talk, and he has been consistently, so this is nothing new. But he stated that he's being ducked, and he's the most ducked fighter ever. So if so, what route does he take with the win over De Los Santos?
That, my friend, is really the question. It's like, where does he go after this? Because, you know, I would have to agree with him. He's getting ducked left and right. You know, it's like playing dodgeball or something, trying to find somebody to fight him. You talked about how Frank Martin pulled out. He's not the only one who was spoken to about this fight. Before that, it was Isaac Cruz. Matter of fact, Cruz, I want to say, was a mandatory for it. He's like, no, that's all right. Hector Luis Garcia, same thing. All of them passed on it. Haney went to 140 to fight Prograis. Could he come back down to 135? Maybe if he loses, but he looking super thick these days. I really don't see him getting back down to 135 because it was already hard enough to do it. Now you're putting on weight to be at 140. Even with a loss, I don't see him coming back down. So who is there? Everybody ducked him. Maybe with the belt. I mean, but they were fighting for the belt anyway, so I don't see why having the belt would make them want to fight him more. I don't know who he will fight. He may have to drop the belt, you know, just have a cup of coffee with the belt and go to 140 to find someone to fight. You know, fight the folks up there, the Ryans, the Teofimos, you know, the Josh Warringtons, the people of that nature. Because I don't know who he will fight. Could he fight Tank? I'm sure he would love to fight Tank, and that will be big business. Does Tank want that though? Because the issue is Shakur is seen by most as next. They're like, this dude has next. Not Haney, who's the undisputed champ. Not Tank, who we just talked about. But Shakur. Sean Porter said recently on his podcast that he had to he's sparred Haney, he sparred Tank, and when he had a chance to spar Shakur, he was like, "No, I'm good." So even in sparring, he's getting ducked. You know, he was like, "Look, I was on the tail end of my career, and I was like, that's all right. I'm not getting ready to get in there with this little youngster because I know, you know, he's got game." Well, we have to remember his last fight, being Sean Porter's, was against pound for pound great in Bud Crawford. Now, that may also be the reason why he didn't want to spar him, because we know that Bud and Shakur have a really good relationship, and maybe he didn't want to give too many tips and tricks and pointers to his camp. But yeah, it says a lot when you got fighters, champions, they're like, "No, I'm good."
I mean, boys, what are we going to do to get this Haney Shakur Stevenson fight? Now, I don't know exactly what happened. Maybe you can fill us in. But it was previously stated that the fight was given to Shakur, but it was a 75-25 split.
Yes.
Is there ever going to be a possibility where we're going to get that fight and it's going to be to the meeting of both of them? Because they're both talking via the media. Haney has made a couple statements saying that he would knock Shakur out also. So what's the true hold up to this fight?
It's just that it's that Shakur felt that the split should have been more equitable. Now, did they counter? I don't know, because I didn't hear anything about that. And I would think that if they did counter and it was a reasonable counter, like, you know, a 30-35, something like that, then he would keep saying that. The only thing that gets said regarding that is, I offered, it was a 75-25 split, which was the same split that he, being Shakur, offered to Frank Martin's camp that was agreed upon, and then all of a sudden at the last minute it falls apart. So again, if there was any kind of negotiation, sure hasn't been brought up. The only thing that keeps a glimmer of hope is that Haney is WBC champion in recess. So kind of like who was it? It was Teo, I think. It was either Teo or Loma. That's somebody. Totally forgot about him. Lomachenko. Yeah, that probably would be the next fight. It's in camp. I mean, being in camp, being top ranked, that would be the next fight.
Yeah, I know a lot of people are still doubting Devin Haney after that last fight with Loma, and just kind of believing that maybe he was kind of giving some home cooking to win. I feel like maybe this would be the ultimate fight to kind of plant Haney where he feels like he wants to be. Either you're a pretender or, you know, you're the contender that everyone says that you are. So, but I see you shaking your head. You don't think that's a good thing?
No, I mean, Edwin is the most dangerous fight for Shakur. He's got an 87.5% knockout rate. His entire career has been at 135 versus Stevenson moving up to 135. He's been calling out Shakur ever since he moved up. And his only loss was a split decision loss to William Foster III. Now, granted, that actually doesn't work in his favor. But the fact that he's knocked out as many people as he's knocked out, and he literally has nothing to lose. Shakur is in a little win situation. The little win is he get a belt. But yeah, this does nothing for Shakur outside of giving him a belt. Now he gets his belt, goes and beats Loma, and does so in spectacular fashion. Let him stop Loma. Oh, then I would see this fight happening at 135. But again, I really don't see. I don't see Haney coming back down. He might, if the money's right. He might, but you talk about depleting yourself. Yeah, I wouldn't do it. I could see maybe him saying, "No, come on up and fight me," but yeah, I don't see him going back down.
Awesome. Shakur is undefeated in 20 bouts, with half of those by KO. Like as we stated, De Los Santos has only seen defeat once, and that was actually by decision. Now, on that undercard of that fight, Emmanuel Navarrete will conclude 2023 with the third fight of the year when he defends against Robeson for the WBO junior lightweight title. Voyze, tell us about that fight also.
So this fight is absolutely wonderful. And, you speak of possible future opponents for Shakur Stevenson if he is victorious over Edwin De Los Santos. Navarrete coming up to 135. Yeah, I would love to see him make that jump and come up and face Shakur. He's just a beast. Navarrete is a beast. 39 fights, all but one of his fights have been wins. And the one loss that he had was 11 years ago. Last loss was 11 years ago. Of those 38 wins, 31 of them have been by way of knockout. So he's got power. How that power will carry at 130, that's more of a question. Saw him in his last fight. It was a good fight, but it wasn't stopping folks like he'd stopped people before. Where Conceição, he's in it because of his name. He is a gold medalist from Brazil, won it at home in the Rio Games, but in his last 5 fights, he's 2-2-1. So, he's got a name. He was ranked. So it's like, okay, let's get him in here. Navarrete needs to fight someone. It's good for this fight card being F1 weekend or week 4 Vegas. And everything that they're saying about it is regarding the F1. Even on the poster, you see all the lights and the racetracks and all of that stuff, which is another reason why it's on a Thursday versus being on a Saturday because of the race that'll be going on. Again, Conceição's in there because of his name. Anything can happen in boxing, but he's really in there to provide a nice opponent for Navarrete to style on and have the faithful in T-Mobile Arena screaming out, Vaquero.
Awesome. Those are 2 great fights. That's going to be taking place November 16th. And that's going to be from the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. Make sure that you stay tuned for that. And also make sure that you follow The Voyze. And make sure you follow MTMV Sports for any updates on that bout also. We're going to take a quick break and we will be right back.
It's not just about the love of the game. It's about dedication and commitment through the process and the patience to endure. There's joy in reaching your goals and peace in knowing you've done all you're supposed to do. Ozell brand. It's not just a brand, it's a lifestyle.
Awesome. Welcome back. Now, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in with us to another amazing show of the main card. Your support is always appreciated. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for sharing, and subscribing. We are MTMV Sports. We are the fans. We just put in the work so that we can make sure that we can share what we learned with you all. Make sure that you visit the website mtmvpn.com.
There we go.
So that you can get a grasp and learn about all of our hosts, all of our shows. We have a number of shows for anything you need, whether it be boxing, basketball, football, Not the Same Podcast, which is an amazing show where they talk everything. Make sure that you tune in and follow us. Get some merch. Also, check out some of our articles on the website. Now, we thank you for tuning in every Tuesday night, 7:15 p.m. Eastern Time and Smoke O'Clock. But before we go, we have one special last word. Voyze, give it to us.
All right. So we're doing things a little differently. He spoke about how we're live on Tuesdays. Had to do things a little bit differently because this week and next week. Just got a lot of stuff going on. Specifically next week, I will be preparing to travel to the Windy City to cover Bellator 301 on site. Yeah, so it's on site. So be looking out for me to post different things from around the hotel, the host hotel, and as well as from the Wintrust Arena. Got so much stuff going on. If there are any of the fighters, specifically on the main card, that you have questions for outside of what are you going to do if Bellator ceases existing, hey, send me those questions because I will be there. This is MTMV, my team, my voice. We want to be your voice, and we have the access to be your voice to the fighters.
There we go. Awesome. MTMVPN.com. We are continuing to grow. Big events. We're live everywhere. We're live at football games, at basketball games, combat sports. We are everywhere as we continue to grow. We thank you for supporting us. Make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. We are everywhere where you listen to your podcast, whether it be Spotify, Apple, everywhere. We're all over the place. Thank you for continuing to support us. As Voice stated, Bellator 301. Make sure that you tune in. Thank you. That's all I got. Voice, take us out, boss.
Until next time, fight the good fight.
What's going on, family? It's your man, Wildris.
And it's your man, the myth, the legend, the voice.
And you just finished watching the main card on the MTMV network.
Yeah, for more great shows just like this, smash the subscribe button and keep fighting the good fight.